If you are into design, if you are uh, doing something already, or you are just getting into design, please just state the kind of design you do and where you are listening to us from. Mr. Adelebinga, welcome. Glory Adiola, welcome. So if you are into any form of skill whatsoever, hmm, most things start from an idea. So if you are into whatever you are into, whatever skill you are, you can just use the message box and type in whatever you do so that we know we are on the same side. Why we kick off now? Okay, it seems nobody is typing anything or showing anything. Okay, all right, I can find one. Tijani says that he's a graphic designer, he's a beginner, wow, and he's a front-end developer. Wow, two in one. I love that. And he also says you're a student. That's a very good one. Anybody else? We just take one more. Okoye, please, can you hear me? Okay, yes, machine learning or deep learning student. Wow, that's impressive. So we have a ton of developers and machine learners and also a graphic designer. All right, while we kick off, I'm pleased to announce to you that our speaker, our guest speaker is already on the call this evening. And before I bring him on to actually speak, I will just say uh, a brief introduction about the topic we are having today. So, in fact, I like this number, but if we can also invite more people, we can as well do that. Uh, we can share the meeting link and make sure others too do not miss this because it's very important. So, we are talking about how to turn great ideas into great designs. And sorry, just a minute. Okay. Mr. Bayode Enoch, you can speak. Your hands are up.
All right. Good evening. Please, I just want to confirm if we're recording the call already.
Yes, the call is being recorded.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, the call is being recorded currently. Uh, yeah, the call is being recorded currently. But for those that, as we are live here, so before I bring up our speaker, I would like to say a few things about how to turn great ideas into design. And with a very few years that I've been designing, I realized that uh, the aspect of design, every cross section of design, most times, if not all times, starts with an idea, starts with what you think. Even though there are other things our speaker will have to actually tell us and show us as we continue in this class. So most of it, in fact, starts from your thought process. Whatever you think, whatever comes to your head, you can as well put it into design that solves problem. So as designers or somebody trying to get into design, you must understand that there are ideas behind the design you do. You cannot just wake up and just, in fact, putting a dot, for those that draw now, putting a dot on a paper is an idea. That's how far it can go. In fact, doing anything you want to do, you are starting from a thought process, you are starting from an idea. And this same thing also goes into design, but there is a thought process in design. Yes, whether you're a graphics designer, whether you're a UI UX designer, in fact, whether you're a video um, editing designer, whether you are even an environmental design, there is a thought process. For those that don't know what environmental design is, it's just the way it is. Most of the designs you see, for example, the traffic lights, all these stop signals, in fact, where it is positioned, where it's supposed to be positioned is a thought process. So design goes beyond just you doing something on your phone or on your system, on your laptop rather, and bringing out this. There is it goes further than that. All right. So I would love to know if okay, yeah, our speaker is on the call. Please, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so right before I bring him on to actually start speaking to us, because we don't even have much time aside. Mr. Emmanuel Olanrewaju is a seasoned graphics designer, and I can assure you this evening is not a mistake that you are seeing him as a speaker on this call. He's a visual designer. He is the CEO of Olem Studios, and he also makes fine. When I say fine video editing, I've seen some of his works before. While I was in school, I was opportune to see that from a fellowship body. I was opportune to see some of the things that he do, and it amazes me how someone can be very versatile in that aspect. Yes, and it's a privilege that we have him on the call this evening. So I would like to pass on the mic to you, sir, and you take it up from there. You're welcome.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Sam, for the kind introduction. I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And also, thank you for the privilege to speak here at this webinar. Say thank you to my Oga, Mr. Thank you, sir. So, um, for today's topic, before I dive into the topic that we have today, my uh, host has said enough, and even he gave the right point, which is design starts with what you think. That just even most of 70% of what I'm going to say today, actually, or let's just say 60, is on that point. But then, I would like us to have this kind of perspective before we even start anything. Sorry, can you all hear me, please? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes,
Just
sir.
Yes, we can hear.
all right. So, okay. Um, before I said, okay, I wanted to say something. That was the perspective we need to have before I even start anything. And I would like to use an analogy which says we should find a story in our everyday life. Find a story, all right? Because before you even start a design, right, we have an idea in our mind, a picture of what you want to create. There's something in our mind that we want to create. But then the problem lies, how do we communicate? How do you pass this message across to people? So, but then I want us to do something that's we should just like you don't need to say it. I can just type it in the message box. Just think of how you spend your day. Like today, which is Sunday. Um, I don't know if everybody get that. You just take a pause and ask. If I have to tell a story from my day as today, what would it be? Like, okay, Sunday that's 25th of May, right? And okay, you went to church and everything. You all have everything piled up in your mind. Okay, yes, this is how I spent my day. Right. I think we have this part before I even ask the question. I don't know. At least 80% of people don't know that I'm going to ask this kind of question. So you are not even expecting this question. Oh, I haven't spent today. I haven't spent my day. How is it? But now you're already thinking about it. That's the action part of it, right? Sorry, please. Okay. All right. So that's where I'm going to start from. The way we think really is just like 70% of our design. The rest is just the application and the tools that we make use of. So, Mr. Sam, I just want, okay, I need to be sure if you can still hear me. That's accent. Okay.
Yes, yes, we can hear
All
you
right.
perfectly. You can go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So now I said something. I said if you had to tell a story from today, what would it be? I think you can just start thinking about that while I continue. But I would like to say this: don't overthink it because some of us, oh, how do I spend? Oh, there's something called reverse thinking, and while we have forward thinking, oh, I have to start from now. How do I spend my day? Start thinking from okay, from now to 6 p.m., 5 p.m., there about 4 p.m. You're trying to think backward, and some of us we just think at the point where we just woke up from bed. Okay, the first thing I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this for this moment. But I said something, I said, don't overthink it. A kind gesture, you can just think about a kind gesture from someone, maybe okay, during church service, the smile of someone, the dancing step, or unexpected conversation from someone, or just an event, maybe after the church. It can just be a small frustration. Ah, God, I'm tired for today or something. So all these things pile up, it has meaning to how you spend your day. Not just oh, I spend a day like this, like this. All these are just fraction of moment that pile into the entire day itself. So now you think about okay, what happens, or maybe story what that actually what a moment. Lesson learned, how you okay, I've learned something from this, I've learned something from that, and this and that. All these things add together to what we are meant to do for that, or what we actually how we spend our day for that day. It can be today, it can be tomorrow, but generally every day has their own story like that. And then there's a reason why I asked this question. Why? Because it will help us to pattern our thinking into different aspects, and that's how it actually impacts the way we think about design as well. I'm not here to talk about this topic, yes, which is how to turn ideas into great design, which is the main aspect of visual storytelling. Well, we focus more on branding. That's most of the time. We talk about branding, which is actually very, very good. Talk about different aspects in videos, motion, and everything. But the mistake we do make most of the time is we think that is the main aspect of it. How to check. Sometimes we don't mention it. You just go online, look for inspiration, gather them together. All these things are actually good and fine. Very, very good. But then I'll go further and talk about two major aspects, but I won't be saying much about them. Why? Because that's not the point for this webinar, which is a personal storytelling and business storytelling. Which this aspect I made mention of branding as that falls under personal. No, sorry, falls under business storytelling. Why personal storytelling falls under within your own mind, how you put yourself, like self branding. All these things also require thinking. But the focus we have. Okay, let me put on the slide now. Sorry, a minute. So I will share a slide. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Let me start from this slide. Coming. Sorry, a minute, please. Okay, let me try from here. Okay. Sorry, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? So I need a response, please.
Yes,
I
yes, we
can
can
see
see
the
your
slide,
screen.
right? I mean the slide.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, you can see.
All right. So
I can't see it again.
Mr. Eman, I think you are muted. Hello, Mr. Emmanuel. We can't hear you anymore. Okay, I think our speakers maybe issues with network. All right, we just wait for him to come back. Uh, but why before he comes back, I'll just engage us in some things. All right, so before he dish out what he has for us, so he said he started by thinking. Okay, I think he's back now. Mr. Emmanuel, can you hear me? I think you are muted. Miss, can you hear me? Okay. Well, sometimes it can be very funny with the networks. Okay. It's also coming on back now. Yes, Mr. Emmanuel, can you hear us now? We can't hear you. I think you are muted, though you are speaking already. Uh,
can you hear me now? Hello.
yes, we can hear you now. It's clear now.
Hello, can
You
you hear
can go
me?
ahead.
Okay. My mic is not working.
Yes, I can hear you now. You can go ahead.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, you can
All
go
right.
ahead.
Sorry for the technical issue. I was trying to use the other account. Okay, now I stopped at where I mentioned personal storytelling and business storytelling. And I'm trying to differentiate between the branding aspects. But I said I won't be going deep into branding. So just the process and how to check how our design is. Sorry, our design is or maybe great, or how to can I use the word debug now? Our design and make sure okay, this design is great and this is okay. That's my focus for today. So although we do a little bit branding of okay, check this, check that, but not the main point for today. So now I have the slide here, even though it's not showing on my phone again. Maybe switch it to there. That's what I wanted to do before. Okay. Sorry. So I want to share this slide and give a minute to see how this should. Share. Okay. Okay. Set. Okay. Mm. Okay, sorry for the. I have to restart this guy. Okay. What is this? Sorry, can you hear me, please? God.
Yes, we can hear you and we can see your screen.
Okay. Stop sharing. Sorry, a minute. Am I saying all this? No. Okay. Good. Why am I saying this? Oh my goodness. Sorry, please, just a minute. Okay. So now I have a how to turn ideas into great design, which is our main focus for this webinar. And um, the slide focus on the ideas part and the great design. That's the two main aspects that we have on the sentence. So from the first and second slide, that's the first slide on my phone right here. We have from ideas to design. That's the visual story. The visual journey. So, and yeah, I already said the visual journey refers to the part or sequence of visual that guide the visual attention and tell the story through design. With a deliberate arrangement of images, graphics, text, and other visual elements to convey a message, evoke emotions, or communicate some information. When we have this emotion, because to make a great design, we need to communicate. Mr. Sam said that before we start this webinar. It was, which I said, most of what he said is actually perfect. There's a message you have, and you feel like, oh, how do I communicate this thing to people? The visual journey will help you, I say we enhance, just add to how you communicate to people or to your audience. So now we have a well-crafted visual journey, and that's the features of visual journey. Like, okay, what can it do to your design? Okay, what are the benefits? Which it captured that the first one, it captured attention, like it drive attention. That one also drive traffic. It's got very complex information simply. That means it breaks complex information. So because sometimes our viewers does not really understand design when it's too like bulky and the information is just everywhere. We don't understand, okay, this and this is what does it mean. Even their perspective might actually shift from the right part to just something else, because they don't have the clear understanding. The communication, like the information is too complex for them to understand. So now the third one, which it evokes emotion and empathy. Or that's it also shows emotion and empathy, like shows the emotion of what you're trying to say. It's guide the visual attention. It's guide the viewer's eyes. That's their perspective. I was saying that the other time. Like, show them, okay, this is what you're meant to do. And that moment you are in charge of what they think. Not that, okay, they are thinking something else that it's not inside the design, or maybe something that is different from what you have in mind as a creator. The fifth one, which it actually enhance engagement and retention. So we talk about engagement, like yes, I've explained that one, but when it comes to retention now, it deals with how they remember, like how they remember the design or what you've done or your concept or something, how they retain the information. So I have a, which I'm seeing the second slide. In design, the visual journey is so crucial for effective communication. So that means, and okay, user's experience and storytelling. Okay, let me read that again. In design, the visual journey is crucial for effective communication, user experience, and storytelling. That I think that's why I changed the color there, just to bring our attention to that. Now we have a deep thinking. So I need to speed up some of this part because I've wasted some time already. Yeah, I was trying to think or do a deep thinking. Yeah, let me just read out on the subject matters, which is how to turn ideas into great design. And you check, I don't know if you can see this creative design. I have to change that word because I do believe that every design that is great is actually creative. That is my own perspective. I don't think a design that is not good enough or is not passing enough message or the right message can never be a creative design. I don't care about the beauty. I don't care about that one is just there. So now we have how to turn ideas into creative design. Ideas, I have something on that which is spark creativity. I don't know if you can see it clearly. That's why I have to zoom in from there. Then that into just like a transformation process. We have creative design that brings ideas into life, like bringing ideas to life, in short. That just bring everything all together. So I just have to break the sentence and make sure we understand what we are driving at. All right, so now let's break it down here. We need to be fast here. Um, sorry. Ideas are the starting points, the raw form of your creativity, like the raw thing you're going to do. That just let me just put it this way: the foundation of everything you're going to do start with an idea. Your storytelling start with an idea, and without it, I don't think there's anything called a great design. So you can just read further. I've just pick the main point. Okay, a great design begins with a solid idea. These ideas serve as the foundation for the entire design process. That's just it. So it's just as simple as that. Then we have the next one, which is a point, which is ideas inspire creativity. When you have a good idea, obviously it spark creativity. And if you know, I wrote a spark creativity. Like the idea is just like a spark. Although it doesn't stay for long if you don't act on it. That's something about ideas. And funny enough, a lot of people have the same ideas out there that you think, oh, this is so special to me or something. No, that's why we all just need to always act on this design or on this idea rather. So we have here under it, okay, that's under ideas inspire creativity. Okay, let me just read this one. This is where designer can think outside the box and come up with a unique and effective design. That is, it's called a creative space. In my own time, I just use that. Like when I think of an idea, I'm actually in my own creative space. And funny enough, okay, I was trying to say something about when I made mention of, I asked a question the other time. I said, like, how do we spend our day? Like, at the end of the day, if we are meant to just take a pause and we had to tell the story from today, like, okay, what would you, or let's say, what will it be? That was like sometimes we have this idea probably in the bathroom, and you are preparing for his maybe an event, or you are just going somewhere with your friend. You just have this idea like, I have this idea something. I have to work on it and something. It comes anyhow, and it's sorry, this one is off. So it comes anyhow, anyway. So I don't know if you can hear me. But, uh, I won't be able to hear this.
Yes, we can. I can hear you.
All right, all right, all right. Because I'm not using my phone at the moment. That's why it went off. All right. So now let me just move to the next point so that we can go to the main in itself. So let's look at the second breakdown, which is the fifth slide here. I have on my screen 05. We have a design gives ideas a visual voice, the voice. And now I will say your design is a person that speaks to people. It communicates. It tells them what you have in mind. I made mention the other time of personal storytelling and a business storytelling. I'm still going that. I'm just going to digress a little bit. When a design is your voice now, it speaks for you. That's when it comes to personal storytelling, or it speaks for a business, which is the normal thing people call branding. That's why we have two aspects of. Although it's not popular, I don't know, but this is just what I, my own perspective, what I actually think of. So now let me continue. Effective design takes the ideas and communicates it very in a clear way. That's just it. In a clear way, engaging and easy to understand. No stress. So and this is where designer skills come into play. This is where your role as a designer comes into play. Using various and visual elements, colors, typography, layout, and all of that, like lines, different elements when it comes to visual. And we have ideas, sorry, next one we have ideas guide design decision. When you have to make some decision, okay, throughout the design process, you have when you have to think and iterate, okay, oh, how do I get this thing done? Design is or a message informs you the decision you are meant to make on the design. And it ensures that every element on the design serves a specific purpose that helps to communicate better the idea effectively. So that means you can't just pick anything, any resource, because you have access to various resources. You have packs of fonts, you have pack of everything design element that you have. You have different, let's say, um, templates. Let me just use templates. Most of the time, we use fonts. You can just use different fonts. I'm not even going to that area. Like we are all designers. Yeah, at least we understand one or two things. Okay, if I use too much font, it's bad. If I, that obviously, just make it simple. It's pass the message. It's engaging and it's communicates. I have two different case study here. Yeah, which the first one is I have two flyer here. The one I did recently, and this one I did like a year ago, just to see and how you check. This is the first one. So a night with nature. I'll be switching from me. So I'll be switching my screen to my system now. Most of these things on my system, but I will need and how to check. There's a way you can check your design if your design is speaking, if it's talking. There's no, you don't even need to see. Sometimes you just run it on all these AI stuff and it checks it for you. Yes, AI. I mentioned AI. You heard that right? Because I know designers are very scared of AI. That oh, AI is going to take over designers. No, AI is just like a tool for us. And I think just like we use Photoshop, I want to see the same way we use After Effects, Photoshop, Cinema for all these apps. Just start seeing AI like that. It's just a tool. And the limit of AI is just, well, I don't know, as of now, is creativity. I did a course, was not last week, and I did some exam. I was trying to learn the future of AI, and I discovered that they said over a decade now they don't know how to incorporate that into the model yet. Yet, although yes, there are different cartoons. That one is within the database and all. But then the creative part of it is they are still trying to crack the that's creativity is emotions too. Creativity is attached to your emotions. So and AI doesn't really have emotion that way. So that's the advantage we designer have over AI. So but then I use it as a tool here. Call me. Let me just um sorry. A minute please. Just need to share my screen from there. Um, sorry. All right. Okay, I have it here. This time, oh my goodness. Sorry. It should be showing now. Okay, and the screen. All right, sorry, can you also see my screen? Sorry, can you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can see your desktop
Okay,
screen.
all right. All right, so I have this how I just all right, this is the design I just showed now. This oh, it's very small, very tiny. Okay, all right. So send one of my design as okay. So I think I've passed it. Why is this happening? Okay. So I send this. I just normal prompt hello blah blah blah. Oh, so now this is the prompt I use. This is the design I showed on the slide right here. A nature with a night with nature for a brand as LCC. Um, and I wrote here, what is the story behind this design? I have a story in mind before I did this design. Though I didn't use AI, so it's zero AI stuff. So I didn't use AI at all to design this, obviously. But then I just checked. That's today just to see if actually I'm right before I even say this. So I said, what is the story behind this design? I'm like, okay, I send the design, I just write this prompt. What is the story behind? And it replied with, okay, this is just a summary of everything. The design titled A Night with Nature that appears to be promotional teaser for an upcoming event organized by Nigeria Conservation Foundation, that's NC Health, at Lekki Conservation Center, LCC in Lagos. So, and this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. So he said, here, here is the story the design tells. So it's going to analyze your design for you. And of course, everybody use ChatGPT here. It's not a new thing. But the way we use some tools actually determines the result we get. I don't know if everybody get that. I don't know. But sometimes it depends on how you use it. Some use it, okay, AI design for me, which is actually not the right way because AI does not really understand some of this process. But you can use it to actually check error in your work. Okay, I just designed this, analyze this design for me and tell me if I'm right, grade me, okay, with your own understanding, okay. And it will check and it tell you what is wrong and what you need to be right. I try with a good design, I also try with a bad design. And the test was was somehow. But then let me continue from here. Now we have the design invokes a mysterious, like serene of okay, an immersive nighttime experience. Please just do this nighttime experience. Let me check the design again. You look, I don't know. Let me just send the design to the group if some of us can just check it because it's not clear here from my end. Okay. Um, I'm coming a minute, a minute, a minute, a minute. All right. Okay. It's just a normal design actually, not nothing so special. So, but I use that one to test run the model if it's right or words. Okay, yes, I have it. All right, this is the first one, and this is the second. Please, you can just check the group if we need to see the design. And yeah, is there any response if design has been on the group? Yes, it should be there. I know. Mm, okay.
Yes, I think.
All right. Thank you. Uh, the second, I want to send another one now, but I'm still looking for it. Sorry for the. Okay. Oh, shit. All right. So the second one is dropping now. Set. Okay, and you can try this with me from your head. You can even use any model and like any AI stuff. So I tried with another here and I got like almost the same um info. So now it says here is the story design styles, the atmosphere, like theme and atmosphere. I've explained this. So okay, I stop at nighttime experience in the heart of nature. So the hair tells me that okay, yes, this is what you did, yeah. And that's actually what I had in mind then when I was trying to do it. I was looking at something that will capture the heart of nature. It's a night event, like evening, but not really night. It's not a party. Oh, someone said they can't see my screen. What happened here?
Yes, we can see this.
My screen is
It
off.
is only
What
the
happened here?
desktop that is showing. The desktop view is showing, but you are not scrolling.
I'm scrolling it. Okay. Oh, sorry. What about now?
We can see the screen, but try to scroll a little. So
I'm scrolling from here.
oh, it's not showing here. It's just static.
Okay. Is it showing now? Please let me know. Is it network?
Yes, yes,
It's working now. Right.
yes.
All right. So, um, starting with the theme and atmosphere, where I start about the nighttime experience, I said in the heart of nature. That was what I had in mind. I was trying to create a scene or an atmosphere where it looks as if okay, not really cinematic, but it's going to pass a message of a nighttime and a forest because it's tourist center. So I need to make sure I pass that across to people. So then it continues. The use of dark forest stone. I was talking about the color tone I'm using with lights, highlighting the word nature. That's the one at the back. You can check the design as I'm just look at the design as I'm reading this alongside. So and it says it draws attention. This is where it's actually captured. So it brought attention to the majesty and the mystery of natural world at night. So you can see that this is actually what I was trying to eat on that design. So I was surprised when I saw this. I was like, wow. Yes, AI is more like some people say it's our enemy because it's trying to take the job from us and yeah. But then I think I have since I don't know, I just have a different perspective about it. It's not meant to take. Okay, sorry. Okay. So now, furthermore, we have nature in focus. That's another aspect. It's trying to explain design one after the other. So that's why it says the presence of tortoise and a monkey suggests wildlife. Okay, wildlife will play a key role in these events, which is actually true. But that one is because of the images I use. So that one is still reasonable. Like a normal person can just see that. So sure. So it ain't a close-up encounters, perhaps nights, all these night events, and just how I had it in mind then. Oh, this is how I want to do it. Like this is how I want the design to look like. I don't want to waste much time on this. And then location, all these one are just normal says location because I had a location on the design and whole. Anticipate that's coming soon. But this is where I'm going now. There's somewhere it says okay, the entire summary of design is it. So this design tells the story. Now the story of upcoming immersive nighttime experience in nature, designed to connect people with wildlife. That's not on the design, though, but that's what I had in mind, and the environment. So, under the guidance of a respected conservation body, which is LCC, that's the name of the company. So now I have another question. I said, rate the design over 10. Does it pass a great message? I just feel like, oh, okay, yeah, you get the message. But then, does it really pass a great message to people? So, and it says, design rating 8.5 as over 10. Strengths, that's my strength, says, okay, sorry, I'm having, okay. So it says strengths, strong concepts, which is what it says actually. And the theme, a night with nature is clear, engaging, and memorable. Like, okay, that's just because I make use of the text. This is where the text comes in. Now I was referring to where you use elements. So these are the elements now. The text, just like the way I use the font, although it's not really good, I still it says another thing about the text too, but we still get there. So now the pictures I use, that's another element. As the tortoise and the monkey, it also portrays another message to communicate a realistic, peaceful, and nature experience. So now going down to the typography, the hierarchy of the typography, nature. I think you can still see the design on the group and just check the design on the group while I'm strolling down. And also a night with, okay, I think it's this one. I saw another thing that's actually, okay, imagery. I just want to skip to the main point so that I don't just read the entire results or something. Okay, message clarity, yes. So it will give you your score. It's going to analyze the score for you, like one after the other. The message clarity is where I was like, wow. So I was able to pass the message 8 over 10. Although, yeah, I don't know if, but to me, I was like, okay, this is still fair enough. 8 over 10 is still manageable because there's more. So, and I thought of it that, okay, if this can help me this way, I tried another bad design. I was like, oh, this is not good enough. That means this is actually right. It's not as if you're just picking from from the design, maybe the text or something. It's actually the exact thing there. So you have your branding and credibility. That's just because of the text. So now it says something, suggestion for improvement. You can see that it's not perfect. It's not saying maybe oh, it's absolutely super, like just the best or something. And which is, I think that's where we learn from, and that's where we develop and build ourselves from that state. So he said slightly brighten the foreground text. That's nights. I think let me just go back because of that. Which I saw it and I was like, oh, this is actually true. This and this. The font, although the font is not bad, we're just saying because it just has to be improved. And but you are in charge of your creativity. You know what you want to do. So you can see this. Oh, this is not my concept. I did this for a reason. People like, oh yes, I did this for a reason. I applied, and that's why I made mention of this. It's just like a word I believe though. Sometimes we break how will I even put it? It says that you you break some rules in design, and that has to be intentional. This is not every time you need to just follow everything the way they say it or something. And that's where creativity comes in sometimes as well. As a creative, because you are fully in charge of your for your I mean, you are fully in charge of your creativity, where you know that your great design is a creative process, and turning ideas into great design is actually a creative process as well. So, and I think I see it that way too from my own end. So sometimes something like this can just be ignored once you see that it's fine and it's, I mean, once you see that it's okay and the message is okay with you, you don't need to change anything. So final verdict where it says yes, design is part of the great blah blah blah. This evocative and thematic. But this one is just, although it's right, but then doesn't freak me. So we have that the first one right there, and the second one, I did the same thing as well, but this time around, I made use of some, like say, I think that's what I have. Sorry, I'm still trying to look for the tab here. Oh my god. Okay. So sorry, minutes. I started this guy. Uh, oh my goodness. Sorry, please. Um, all right. Okay. This is where I have another one here as well. So this second one, there's a reason why I shared these two design actually, because there's this message. The okay, is it clear enough? It's not showing from here. All right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry, can you all see my screen, please? And is it visible enough? Hello. Sorry, I can't hear you, please. Okay. All right. So I have this one. I will just skip through this. I did the same thing with the second design, and the prompt is actually um same thing as the other one. I mean, the one I used, what is the story behind this design? Just simple thing, and it shows something. But there's an area where I discovered that it's explained further why the strength of the design, and which is the crown. I think, is it visible? Please, I need to know if you can see me, please. You can see the screen. Sorry, I'm not sure. I'm not using my. Okay. Mr. Sam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can see your screen. I can hear you too.
Oh, okay. All right. So I have the strength here, the strength of the design. Once I put it there, it just checks same as the first one, and you can try it and use the same prompt. Raise the design after. I don't want to spend more time on this. What is the story behind the design? That's the first thing. Then raise the design. You can just use any of your design to check and what to do. It's just a process to help you. Then I noticed something. It mentioned the colors, like the colors I make use of and everything. It's makes it much more easier to understand because everything communicate. And that day, that was why I asked a question where I mentioned how do you spend our day? It was Easter day when I did this. I just think of the sermon that very day. And I was like, okay, can I just bring this day and turn it into design? That was the main idea for this design. the second one, which is resurrection. It's just for Easter, what's it called? Easter Sunday, where we have um resurrection as the what's it called, the sermon for that day. I was like just listening and everything. So design just came into my mind. Okay, can I just, instead of doing happy Easter or something, can I just have something different? So that was what came in, and I turned it into a design, just a story. So that was the thing. That was the main point where I discovered that everything, every design, apart from we having for a brand, for me now this is more of like a personal experience to me. That's personal storytelling, not for a brand now. So that's where sometimes I think the thinking aspect is very, very so crucial for us to master and develop. And how do we develop this? You have to just keep doing things, like keep thinking and putting things into action. And there's this aspect we call deep thinking. That's thinking and deep thinking. Deep thinking requires creativity. Why just thinking is just like, okay, what I'm going to do today, and you just like autopilot thing, like something that your mind can just fix for yourself. But when it comes to like autopilot made of thinking, like you just think of something and you get it solved very fast. Like your mental or your just like a routine, and it's been replied with your mental shortcut of how to do this thing. You have it on your mind already. But when it comes to deep thinking, this aspect is even more deliberate, and you have to think. You have to analyze your concept. Okay, the ideas that you have, how can you bring this into a creative view? How can you communicate through it? So this one requires you to just slow down. Yeah, of course, you go online, look for different concepts that you can absorb. It's also enhance and it strengthens your ideas better. You don't have to think out of an empty box. You think with your mood board as having the real design that you can in a way pick one or two things from them, not saying you steal the entire design. It's a normal thing every designer know actually. But then you look at it and you create a mood board for yourself where you can breathe on and you can plant your ideas on. And that's where the idea will just start building up by itself. And you try something, and where deep thinking comes from, you think from your idea, okay, this is not good enough. Can I change this? Can I do this? Can I add this to this? Can I examine ideas and explore multiple layers of outcome? That's multiple layers of choices as well, if I can say that. Yeah. So that's when you now sit down and you think about how you can filter different things from that idea and pick the best part that you have there. You know, a lot of things can just come into our mind, and if you don't have the aspect to filter them, you end up doing something that is not creative enough. And that's where deep thinking comes from. So then, okay, let me go back to the slide. I have to use, oh my goodness. So now we have the second part where when I talked about the second case study, but this time I made use of logos, and yeah, I think you've seen it on the slide already, but let me just show it again. Coming up. Okay. Stop. Sorry, minutes. Sorry. I don't know why this is just. I wasn't expecting this to happen. Oh my goodness. Sorry, minutes. Still learning. Okay. Okay, I'm having it now. Yeah. The sits at the seventh slide. Can you see my screen? Okay, I've shared this. All right. Um, Hello, sorry, Mr. Sam. Okay, I don't know if this is working. All right.
Yes, you can see your slide.
Okay, good. So now I have the second case study, which says I put different logos, right? Just different done by different designers actually. Just get them online. Now, and from there you can see each of these logos actually communicates something we are used to. This time around, when it comes to branding now, these are the method we use to communicate for a brand. That's when we are dealing with logo design. Actually, it's not something I can just jam. Branding is not something I can just put all together. No, it's I have to take one part of it, and where we have a logo, we have negative space, we have disconnect, we have sandals, we have fly, we have people, we have bikers. No, all this concept now, it's more like trying to talk. You don't need to think. But okay, let's look at these sandals now. Look at we have to, you know, it's just something you can just pick without you trying to explain. You have spicy now. You can see the pepper there. So these are the areas where you can also add storytelling to yourself. And using this one now is called a negative space logo concept. You have a lot of concept that you can tell the story from, which is actually fine. But then I just have to pick but I can't put everything on this slide, right? We have fly. Fly can be used for an airline company, which actually suit better. Then we have the second case study here, right? Where we have letter, place, and travel. Here now, let me just zoom in. Here now, we can see that this is speaking something. You don't need to, I would like stress our brain too much on this logo. Like, okay, although yeah, because we are designers, we can be it can be so easier for us to think about it. But also using a and location, which is a place, and travel for a brand, then now you can just put everything together and the logo just to tell a story about the brand, that what they do. So now you have a brand that they're into, maybe let's say, um I think I mentioned airline the other time. They can still use it as for this example, delivery, yes, airways delivery, it can still work for this brand. And then the logo actually joined everything, every information. Like letter just the A. Let's just say airliner. Sorry. So now it's just like the alphabet of the brand, the first alphabet of the brand. Then we have place, where is the location, that's location icon there. Then travel, that's just the medium at which the brand works or they use to. So that can actually bring everything into the main thing about the brand, which is the logo, that's their identity. Because their identity also talked about their purpose. Without a purpose, there's no identity. It's work hand in hand. So although it's not every company that works on that concept actually, not every company that works on that, but at least it's one of the ways to tell a story about a brand. All right. So I don't want to bring Adidas story and start talking about Adidas or talk about another brand, Coca-Cola, or this thing. Just a simple analogy and just explain the way we can just get it. Before I move to the conclusion, yeah, um, I would like to talk about the video aspect, like the video and motion aspect, because I just focus on design because we have design here alone. That's why I have to focus on design alone. But then, Mr. Sam said everything. Okay, sorry, please. I'm coming on. This is, I think I'm having, sorry, minutes. All right. So Mr. Sam said something about how we test it that is not in design alone. Yeah, it's actually not in design alone. We have different areas where we can tell a story, different field, in motion, in video, even in photography. So the main part is how you see your information. It will help you, and that's the idea. Apart from the idea aspect, yes, the idea is actually the foundation, as we said earlier. Main thing, the foundation of everything. Without the idea, you are not even, you can't even, it can't even be a good design without the idea. Is just like a raw from like the crude oil that you have. So then, okay, if you are meant to convert these ideas, I want to like, I'm not talking about design again now. I want to just expand the whole thing now, just to expand the entire process. Okay, I have something here as well. I can speak to that. But let me look at it first before I share my screen. So I don't want to waste much time already. I don't want to waste okay. So there's this process I was working on the brand that you have to, before you, because I worked for a brand then. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm bringing it. Okay. I don't know if the sound will be visible enough. Oh, sorry, it will be audible. Visible. Can you hear the sound? Oh, if sound is not showing, it's not going to work.
No.
No. Wow. That's it's a big problem for myself. Okay, but then let's just have it. It's a process. I was working on a brand that's radar. So sound. So from that is where I was creating the entire different sketch of how the brand will look like, and from there I bring it into Illustrator to bring out the, okay, I share it to the client to show him. I think I showed him how everything will look, and he picked one concept. So from there now, if I don't know, there's people here that they have different perspective, like different like call it field now, and they want to tell the story in every area of that side. That is more taxing because one, you need to understand how to tell story in different areas too as well. The reason why I showed it now is because when I was working, it's not even here. Oh, sorry. When I was working on the motion, I need to add some sound, a sound effects, tell story about videos. Too much sound. Also, this is the photos. Sorry, I think I've seen it here. I've put everything. Okay. So sound is one of the things we use to tell a story when it comes to video. Location perspectives to your camera perspective also adds to your storytelling when it comes to visual. I mean video rather. What am I saying? When it comes to video. And also let me show this. This is for photography now. Yeah, I don't know if you can see if this is clear enough, although the quality have reduced. This is another perspective. This is not even a drone shot. Someone will ask me that where is this place? Is this accurate? And how? The perspective of the entire view is different. So it was like, oh, so this is accurate. Like even though seeing the cab and the color of the cab was not really so obvious, and it was like it's just a busy day now, correct? Just normal. Although it's just different actually that you can tell stories. It's not just one way. It's not just in design alone. It's different aspects. Okay, this is the one I worked for. This is another brand. This one is just I don't know. I have to look for this one. The eye icon now that we have here, is this thing showing? God. Okay. The eye icon we have here shows beauty, eyelashes now. And this is just the eye. I have this case study of this brand too as well. So this is the high, this is the highlight. So Glam City is about they deals with beauty. That's their own focus. So now I need to think of how I can create something about the brand. It's a long process actually. Look for beauty, and beauty, beauty is just about the height, it's about the face. What is on the face? Your eye. And that's the most important thing on the face. Without, I don't know, eye is just the beauty of the face. Although yes, I know every other part is actually necessary, but then so now I also have case study where we have um sorry, know if I can see habits. It's it's emotion. This one is actually okay. This is emotion for this Glam City now. This is the emotion work. Although I don't know, the sound will not work, but this is what the brand does. They are into beauty, into wedding stuff, into events, but their main focus, their main purpose is about beauty. That's what the CEO told me. And I have to make sure I tell the story with that, with their brand. So these are some of the work I did, and I was trying to just look for. You can see the eyelashes of what is it called now? Eyebrow. Sorry, of this beautiful and good-looking lady. Sorry for using that word. So that's some of the work I think I've worked on. Not everything, but at least just few of them. I think over the years or over time, we don't use it's not as if AI is the main thing. It's not. It just helps some of us to know what's. You can show it to your boss. You can show it to at least your mentor that you have. But if you think that's not enough, or before you show him, you need to do some things from your end as well. I think you will need to try this AI method. ChatGPT is free for everybody. Then I did something just to check if the model is not being biased, maybe because of the text or something. So I tried a different design, which is not so good enough. And I typed the same thing for the model to tell me about the design actually. So now, okay, let me just see. I will need to look for this one because I don't even know where it is. Okay, okay, okay. Oh my god. Well, let's try it together. I don't need. I just retype the prompts. Retype the prompt and okay. Let me add. Sorry. What is it? Yeah, I got. Sorry, please a minute. I'm mixing this thing up again. All right, let's have this. I think you can all see this. So let's say we have. I have the picture here. Here's the design now. I just say hello, just normal. It's not necessary, but sorry. Just to be practical enough, and let me drop the design now and say this is the design now, and I drop it. This is a very bad design actually. I don't know. Let me send it to the group. Oh, don't let me just. It's design is not good enough. To be honest, I check it. It's not good enough, and I want to see what the AI will say. So I said, okay, with the same prompt, what is the story behind this design? So it shows and it's going to rate. So it's going to analyze it as well, just like that. Image amplifiers. Okay. So now the second question is how I rate design. So it's just giving few options here. That's that means there's a problem somewhere. So I think I just asked another question. I don't want to keep reading the entire Control C. It's even different from here. No, visual design, we have 3/10 here. Can you see the score? Rationalism, we have 3. Call to action, that's 4. Then total average score, 3.8/10. You can just try it. If you think a design is bad, play with the model and see. It's going to tell you. Although yes, is AI is not 100% reliable. I know that about. But it will just help your thinking and your ideas, how to also filter your ideas. Sometimes when you have your idea and you've already put everything down and you need something that will filter the best out of your ideas or out of the creative bank, and oh, you want to know if design is okay or not. So you can just put a thing, a test, and use that prompt I said. What is the story behind the design? Rate the design. Sorry, rate the design over 10. Does it pass a good message? Like you asking, does it really pass it? So it will help you, and it's a way I see. Though I don't use this most of the time because before it just help you to build yourself. Not that you have to rely on this 100%. The AI is just a tool if you are still building yourself. So just as I have to introduce this. So ChatGPT is not a new thing to everybody. Yes, I don't need to start explaining okay, what is. But now it's your suggest for improvements, like suggestion for improvement, how you can make it better. See the first thing here. Can you see? Please, can you see this? Is it clear enough? Because now the first thing is there are a lot of font on the design. Too much. It's just too much. So it says use a consistent font and layout. That is the first issue with that design. And second is improved contrast and readability. It is, I don't know, maybe okay. I will need to send the design just to see, and so that you can see what the AI is saying and is it really accurate, and yeah, so that we can also be more practical about this. It's not about theory. Like let's check it together and see. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I'll send the design to the group now so that we can just check everything out together. Almost done with my time here. Okay. All right. The design is on the group now. So it's a random design actually. So you can see the design here now, the fonts used and everything actually. So now we have add a real city, probably a link. This is because of the business that was there, the concept that can actually suit better. But it's something you can get rid of. Okay, you don't need it and just script it away. So it also says use higher quality pictures or icons where it makes use of all those pictures actually. And that was why I made use of my second design. Then I was trying to explain something about the crown and everything. There's a reason for that, but I could not explain in depth on it. But once you use that AI, once you use it to tell you how it works. So now that's just, let me just skip through everything. That's just the main, just for you to see. You can test any design you want and just see, okay, what is it saying? Maybe you've done a design and you need to know how or is it creative enough for you to progress or something, or you have any issue with it? So that's the aspect of just to check and to be sure the model is not being biased with just your own design or with just send something. If it's not okay, just use the same prompt and you get the actual result from it. So I think we are done or almost done. I just have a few things. Yeah. To conclude with everything, I will say great um, storytellers, like the designers, don't really need big or dramatic stories. Do just make it simple enough but unique. Not You don't have to jam pack everything. Then we also have they also take the smallest or the most important moments and they turn them into something unforgettable moments, like the one I made mention about the Easter design. So something like that can also be used in real life. Though it's real life actually, but that's my own idea. So I think that's the few things I just have to add to what I've said over time. So don't know if there is any question or any misconception of what I've said so far, the presentation slide. Mr. Sam.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, CEO of M Studios, Mr. Emmanuel. I believe we have all gained one or two things in the course of this webinar. I myself wrote down some couple of things down from what our speaker have said. So quickly, if any of us have, is there anybody with question? Just raise up your hand while I give you permission to speak. Is there anyone with questions? For those that are still with us this while, is there anybody with questions? Okay, I think some of the people have left already. But if there's anybody with questions, we can as well ask our questions now. Uh, it's a eye opener for some people that don't know that you can use AI to check out your design and to see how responsive or how important your design is. It's a very good one. Also, you said something that struck my attention. You said thinking and deep thinking. And you mentioned that deep thinking requires creativity. Yes, in every journey of design, it's an aspect you can just think and just do what you feel you can just do and wrap everything up. And on still that same design, if you have your time and you think deeply on it, you discover that there are a lot of things you can actually add or even remove from that design. Yes. So it's a very great one there that you mentioned that deep thinking requires creativity. It's not really in a rush, but you have to channel that uh channel that thought, that idea that you have and put them into design. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for such webinar. I really appreciate you, sir. Okay, so I'm checking through the uh text box section now. I don't think we have any questions so far. While we wrap up, if I may ask, if can we get the access to the PDF that you so that it can be shared in the group, especially for those that are not around in this call?
All right. No problem, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you very, very much. Okay. I hope that next time you'll be able to honor our invitation, even though this is a close one and it's a very close call. and I'm hoping that next time in the near future, you'll be able to acknowledge our invitation once more. So thank you so much. In the absence of question, we would like to call it a night. It's past time already. This is night 81. So next we'll call it a night and wish everybody a creative full week. Yeah, a week of creativity and a week of channeling your ideas into design, into great design, not just design. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Enoch, for staying through the call. And I think I can see Kemi Ajayi. Thank you so much for being with us. So if we have any other questions, we can always ask on the group why our questions will be attended to. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'd like to call it a night from here. Thank you so much, sir. Okay.